We have on the phone an old buddy of mine and just a wonderful, wonderful guy with such an amazing career and catalog in music he's been blessed with, and he's blessed so many others with that career. And we're going to talk to the great Marty Raybon. How you doing, Marty?
Hey, Marty.
I'm doing good, y'all. Y'all sound like y'all doing good too.
Oh, we
Y'all
are.
sound big up there on that radio.
Well, we're just little folks, but yeah, it sounds big. Yeah.
Hey, I gotta say, first of all, it's an honor to talk with you, Marty. I've been a fan for a long time, and I gotta say, you've got one of my favorite liners that we use on our show often.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, our Swanky Southern Nights liner.
Yeah,
that
don't
Marty
get any
made.
swankier than this.
Don't get no
That's what
swankier than this. I love it.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Well,
Well,
Marty,
well,
hey, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What'd you say?
Nothing. I was just comment. That was probably just something out of foolishness that I said one day. So
We love
I've been
it.
known. I've been known to say. That's what people mean. If you want something foolish, something stupid or something like that, get it from Marty.
We
so
love it.
or at least that's what the guys in the band say. So, but that's a band thing, and I go ahead and live with it with pride. So
Yeah, there you
that's a
go.
good thing.
There you go. Well, you've got a great bunch of guys there. Mike McGuire is also an old buddy of mine, and I'm assuming he's doing all right.
He's doing real good. In fact, I talked with him just a little while ago. He was on the golf course.
Nice.
We got a little conference call we got to do here in a little bit, but
Yeah. Well, good.
nothing to it.
Yeah.
But we just bobbing along like the apple in the creek, just trying to make sure we're keeping everything together and
Yeah. Now,
just doing what we're supposed to do, trying to do that.
absolutely. Well, you do it quite well. Now, how many years have you been doing this thing on the road with Shenandoah?
Well, this actually is going to be our 38th year. Now we've actually been together 40.
Yeah. Wow.
September will be 40 years we've been together.
Yeah.
As far as a band.
Yeah.
Now the first several years that we were together, we were just known as the MGM band, but the nucleus of Shenandoah, that's what it was. And unfortunately, Jim Seals is no longer with us.
Yeah.
Jim had a stroke.
Yeah.
Here about 8 years ago. Now Jim's fine. He's
Good.
absolutely fine.
Good. Good.
And still plays like the dick. He don't think he does,
Oh.
and that's the reason why he's not out here. But he still. I think he plays as good as he ever has.
Oh yeah.
And then of course, unfortunately, Ralphie Zell.
Yeah.
We lost him. About 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And other than that, it's pretty much me and Mike and gung ho. We've been pretty much headlong into it. We got a group of guys that's out with us. Bradley Coons is playing piano. Donnie Allen's playing acoustic guitar and fiddle, electric guitar as well. Austin Brown's playing the lead electric. Paul Sanders is playing bass. And of course, Mike and Mike plays drums, and then I do the lead vocal and play acoustic rhythm guitar, and that's the nucleus of the band. And we've been beating and banging and trying to make racket for the last little bit. So we've been
love it.
we've been doing all right, I reckon.
Yeah, well, you guys, of course, you and I have known each other for a lot of years, Music Row days, a long time ago. But I've followed your career for years, and of course, you guys have burned up the charts for years and years, and you've really, I don't know if you would call it a resurgence or just in the last few years. You just keep doing what you've been doing, and people are taking notice that, hey, these guys are as good or better than ever.
Yep.
Well,
So,
I'll say this: if there was anything good that came out of COVID for us, I would have to say it's this.
yeah,
When everybody got to listen or wanted to listen to music, and music was cut off from everybody.
yeah,
Everybody was doing their little shows and little ditties on FaceTime and all that other kind of stuff, and on Facebook and that type stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody was trying to everybody was just trying to hunt music and try to fill that void in their life, and man, a younger audience found us.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
and which now I'll say this too. I know a lot of it's got to do with the resurgence of '90s country music. There's a lot of folks that have really, turned on to this '90s country music again, and
yes,
and that's great because that really was our wheelhouse.
Yes,
the '90s. I mean, that's really kind of, I mean, that's when we were out. We came out in '88.
Yeah.
Our first record was in '87, but I mean it was at the back half of '87. So we didn't really count that.
Yeah, well, you tore up the '90s though. That era was magical in and of itself with just all the wonderful music that was out there. But you guys were definitely just tearing it up in the '90s.
Always putting out new songs.
We were just real fortunate. We and Mackie, I know you know what I'm talking about for sure, because man, songwriting is such a big part of what goes on in this business, and not only do you do songs that you record, well, you may, and that's good.
Yeah.
But what the good thing about it is it helps you to know the difference between a good song and a great song.
Yeah. Well, you guys have cut great songs.
There's a lot of good songs.
Yes. But
but great songs are the ones that that continue to stay around. And
yes.
And bless God, we've been fortunate enough, to have the 2 Dozen Roses and the Moon Over Georgia and Next to You, Next to Me. And
so Brenda Lynn and I
Loved Like That. And,
Brenda Lynn and I have a little outside wager going on this thing. How many number one songs has Shenandoah had through the years?
14.
Okay.
Awesome.
There you go.
You got it, Mackie.
Well, maybe close.
Well, let me tell you something really. Let me tell you something really funny about that, though. Which, I mean, it's good, but it's also funny. Now, our third number one record was 2 Dozen Roses.
Ah, okay.
And then our 14th number one record was 2 Dozen Roses.
How cool
nice.
is that?
The big factor in that was Luke Combs came along with us, and we had recut it.
Yes.
And Luke jumped on that record with us.
That's great.
And the thing about it, the song's older than Luke is.
That's right.
That's the beans and gravy on it. Where you think, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the song's older. It's older than he is.
Yeah. That song's got a life of its own. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indeed. And now that's a whole project that you did. I mean, you've got some other duets out there with some other artists, but this song is it's a number one song. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. In fact, and I'm gonna say this. Now, I don't normally brag about anything that we do, and I'm serious about that. I don't, but I am gonna brag about this. For about 6 days, man, we were out selling Tay-Tay.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I love that.
We were at the top 100 in country, and on a Thursday, and then by Sunday, we were on the top of iTunes and everything. And I mean, Taylor Swift and the rest of them followed us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was. Look, man, we ain't never reached a level like that in our career or anything. So, like I said, I'm gonna brag about that a little bit, but never believing or never thinking that anything like that's possible. Especially, look, in our business, man, after 40 years or 35 years of being in this business, that people usually allot you.
Yeah, yeah.
And we've had just a little more than that.
Yes.
You're supposed to be over.
Mm-hmm. But
as far as your career, it's supposed to be done.
Well, yeah. Well, you've got one of those voices that's evergreen. It's I think it's a comfortability for a lot of listeners. They hear you and you're sounding as good as ever, and you sound like you did when you were in the '90s and doing that thing. And so I think a lot of people are latched on to your voice and that great band Shenandoah and those great songs. And obviously the song has a life of its own because it's come back around again, which is wonderful. Now, Marty, I got to ask you real quick because I know you got to go here in a minute. We're on Southern Roots Radio, so just real quickly. I mean, Timmy and I are very good friends, and so I know a lot of your background. But tell our listeners just a little bit about where you came from and when you started doing music.
Well, I originally came from the state of Florida. That's where I was born. Now, of course, you can't get Wikipedia to tell you that. I've even had, begged and pleaded for them to change. They said I was born in Greenville, Alabama. Our folks were born in Greenville, Alabama.
Okay.
And I don't know whether when we were doing the interview for that, if they thought that that's what I said where I came from. But anyway, nonetheless, from Sanford, Florida. I left Florida in '84, but before then, we had a little old bluegrass band.
Yes.
And man, we'd pick all over the southeastern part of the United States, and of course, I would play rhythm guitar and sing the lead, and then my brother Rick, he would pick the guitar out. He played lead guitar, and then our daddy was a fiddle player.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so we had several bands of players, but the latest and probably the one that stayed with us the longest was a fellow by the name of Ron Rimmer. And man, we traveled throughout the southeastern part of the United States for 10 years, just going from one bluegrass festival to another. And so therefore, with the background of music and having music in our house all the time, and of course my sisters, they were into the Fab Four, and of course my mother and my dad too. He loved country music too, but he was more of a bluegrasser. He was more into Bill Monroe and Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs, and my mama, had the likes of Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass, Hank Lachlan, Charlie Pride. Yeah. So therefore, there was a variety of music going on in our house all the time.
Yeah.
And we were let me say this now, we were a musical family, but it wasn't necessarily a musical family because we played music together.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a common in our household. I mean, everybody liked music. They just like different kinds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So therefore it would give you the appreciation of listening to stuff, because it certainly wasn't like it is today where you can get off with an iPhone and some earbuds and listen to whatever you want to listen to. And somebody else can go to the other room or sit right beside you on the couch and listen to whatever they want to listen to. We had a stereo.
Yeah.
And in the middle of that stereo was a turntable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you'd put them albums on, and that's what played.
Yes.
And so therefore, whatever was playing in the house, that was that was the music.
Yeah.
And and we always had music going in our house. We just always did.
Yeah.
And so therefore, we not only grew up to love it, but we all grew up to respect the different kinds.
Yes.
Of music, that was played.
Yes. Well, you've got a very gifted brother. I love Timmy, my really good friend, and you both got incredible voices. Now, Tim, I know, is just tearing up the bluegrass charts. I noticed he was nominated for some awards as well. You guys just have it going on, and just two great voices, and your voice and your band there with Shenandoah is just fabulous, and that duet we're loving that too. So that's wonderful. And now you guys are on the road a lot. We know that. So you're just tearing up the United States right now, and just any particular region that you're in right now.
Well, we just came off of this weekend. We were in Minnesota for a couple of days. We'll go out to Missouri on this particular run. We're only doing a one-off this week, which is really good because that run we did last, it was just a long run.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of nice to, not have to, to run and stay out so long, because you know how it is, Mackie. When you go out on a trip like that and you're 1,000 miles from home, man, that's a lot of bus riding.
Yeah. Yes.
And then when you get up there, you got a couple of places to go when you get there. So there's just a lot of bus riding.
Yes.
Which now we enjoy that because there's a lot of camaraderie.
Yeah, that's good. That's
in
a
the
blessing.
band, and we have a good time, man. We got a good camp. We got a good bunch of guys with us, and
that's great.
And all, but nonetheless, it still don't keep you from after a while thinking, man, when are the wheels on this thing going to stop rolling? It's awesome. time to get home. And of course, it being Father's Day, made Sunday extra long. But hey, we made up for it when we got home. We got family together. In fact, we had a birthday party for my for my second to the youngest grand boy
Nice.
yesterday at the house, and
Nice.
and then we kind of celebrated Father's Day too.
That's great.
While we all got together to do that, so we kind of had a pool party for old Daddy O and for Milesy too. So
That's great.
so we
Awesome.
were in good shape.
Yeah. Awesome. That's what it's all about right there, brother. Yeah. That's right.
Marty, I got to say, again, it's an honor to meet you over the phone here because I've loved your music as far back as I can remember. And I was just in Texas whenever the single came out with Luke Combs, and there was just a group of people saying, you've got to hear this, you've got to hear this. Mm-hmm. This music is on top again. Mm-hmm. And so I just wanted to comment on that because I think it's amazing. Yeah. I really do.
Oh, well, I appreciate you saying so. That's awfully kind of you, Brenda. We just going out there trying to scratch out a living and trying to see what we couldn't, and can do about trying to continue to, make the dream come true, like I'm saying, while we still got a chance. And look, we love people.
That's,
I mean, we absolutely love people,
you can
and
tell.
we love entertaining for people.
You can tell that too.
And so therefore with being able to do that, it just gives us a chance to get out and hawk our wares and have folks listen and for us to perform for them. It's just always a good thing,
Yes. Well, you guys continue to crank out quality and top quality, and it's just wonderful. So we're going to let you go, Marty. I know you got other things you need to do, but I love you, and I'm so glad you've been on our program here, Swanky Southern Nights, and hope you'll have safe travels coming up here soon.
Yeah, thank you, Marty.
I appreciate that. Hey, I appreciate y'all having me.
Of course.
And y'all have a blessed weekend, and hopefully we'll get a chance to get on here and chew the fat again.
Sounds great. Sounds great, brother. All right, take care.
Okay, Thanks. See y'all later.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.